All right, this is one of these galaxy of games. There's the thing again. Controllers. And the issue with this controller is that the sticks work, these work, but these do not. None of the buttons work. These work. It's almost like this half doesn't work, except these. These are on a whole different board, so it's a little different setup. So I'm going to take it apart and see if I can figure out what's going on with it. All right, I got a little carried away and didn't record me tearing apart the controller. But this chip on the controller behind the thumbsticks was absolutely rotted. And here we go. One of the legs here was absolutely fuzzy and green. So I'm just kind of poking at it, trying to figure out, you know, the kind of extent of what's going on here. Scraping away some of the corrosion and things. And yeah, that pin is gone. Like, nothing left. Absolutely nothing left of this. So, just kind of checking out the damage. I mean, hopefully these PCBs are in good shape at this point. But yeah, it looked pretty gnarly. So I'm just going to scrape at it for a minute before I do a good cleaning. I'm going to have to take apart this whole board, so I'll have to take off the rumble motors. And so let's go ahead and unsolder those. Just taking these off the board, just so I have better access to the board, because those rumble motors are stuck in that plastic housing pretty good. I mean, at least they're easy to take on and off, because they're just two wires here, you know, yoink yoink, and they're gone. So this is kind of a higher level overview of what it looks like. It's pretty, yeah, it's pretty bad. So I'll get I actually did put a little bit of vinegar on this to kind of eat away some of that, you know, because the alcohol wasn't getting that green fuzzy corrosion away. Maybe I'll just put some audio over this, but we could talk for a moment longer here. But yeah, you can see the green. The green's not going away with the alcohol, so I've got to get that off somehow. So I did end up putting a tiny bit of apple cider vinegar right here, so you can see it's starting to kind of fizzle a little bit. And see, it's coming off. And so that's the acid just kind of eating away the corrosion. And as we can kind of see underneath, and we'll see here in a second as well, is that there is not much pad left. So we're going to have to do a little deeper cleaning here. Trying to figure out what to do with that leg, with that pad. I mean, we can always jumper it to something else if we need to. Clean, clean, clean. And I also don't want to leave the vinegar just chilling on the board, so I've got to clean that out at some point too. But that trace looked a little bad as well. You can see it kind of going up and to the right. Looks a little dark toward the top. So I've got to check that. Got to check that cap or resistor there. Just trying to soak some of it up. I have these blue Q-tips I thought were awesome, but they're not that awesome. They're okay. And then just some contact cleaner here just to kind of flush away some of this stuff. I mean, it's looking much, much, much better at this point, but it's still... We still got to figure out. There's a whole missing pin. And so we'll get to that after we get this all cleaned up. top wasn't bad. It was only that right spot, and this was right under the PlayStation logo button on the controller. So I'm assuming something got in that button and leaked right on top of this. And it just, I guess, festered there long enough that it just ate it completely away. Even that third pin doesn't look great. And then this is the back side of it, because I can kind of see some corrosions through some of these vias. And this is the whole back side of the board. And I won't sit and chat through this whole bit. I'll put some music on. And we'll come. Looked terrible, but all the traces and everything tested good. There was nothing broken, so I just scraped it off, cleaned it up. We're going to take this chip off now, and using this piece of Kapton tape to keep that tiny resistor from flying away. Now, in retrospect, I should have put the tape on and then the flux, because it's not sticking at all. And we'll speed up this part. Just some hot air on the chip. I probably could have helped it along by adding some leaded solder to the pins to help it melt quicker, but in the end we got it. And then we'll do a little cleanup on the board here. Yeah, let's get this chip out of here. All right, let's clean this up, make it look all pretty and nice. And you see it's actually not too bad in there, other than that bottom right hand pin. The pad is gone. Gone. All right, clean this up, make it look nice. Here's the chip. No pin. So I'm kind of looking at it to see what it is, what I can do with it. I'm checking the serial number, and it turns out it's a programmable EEPROM. And so I can't just simply buy a new one, because this has program data on it, and I was told that it's specific to my controller. So we've got to fix it somehow. Now, the lucky thing is, you see on the circuit board here, pins 1 and 2 are connected. Yay. So I'm taking my Dremel, and I'm going to shave this chip. It's super tiny, and this is just a tiny, tiny wheel, but I saw someone else doing it with something different online, and it's my first time doing it, so let's see if we don't completely screw it up. Hey, look. There's the pin. You can see where it just went in and disappeared, where it had corroded completely away. Yeah, like I said, this is extremely small. And so anytime I'm like, oh, just a tiny bit more, it's not a tiny bit more. It looks like a lot more. And my microscope is super close to this chip, because I have to get so close in to get this good of a magnification. Because like I said, it's super small. And I'll show you how small it is in just a moment here. Well, let's shave off. I was trying to shave off a little more top just to get a little more to attach to. And at some point you just have to stop and be like, this is good enough. We got to deal with this. So here's my shaved up chip. clean that off. And then we got to figure out how to attach a pin to it. Because this was a whole nother adventure. Alright, so I'm using... This is a piece of solder braid. That's how small I have to get the wire. Even my wire-wrapped wire was way too big. So I took these chunks of solder braid and I pulled a few strands out of them to use to kind of try and use them as a little jumper here. Alright, let's flux this up and see if we can get a tack on here at all. Little solder ball or something to attach to. So, again, tiny. So, everything is shaking because everything is so tiny. This is my finest, absolute finest pointed soldering iron tip. And, you know, there's like nothing on here. But I was able to get a little solder blob on there. The lighting is not so awesome because it's so close. And now there's a little bit of retrospect here. If I put something solid black underneath it, my camera would have auto contrast a little better. So I really considered just editing this kind of chunk out here because I have a really hard time getting it to stick to this solder blob. You can see my tweezers. These aren't my best tweezers. My best ones broke, but these aren't my best tweezers. You can see this tiny and this close. Even in the end, there's a gap on the tweezers. And so getting a hold of this itty bitty bit of wire to try to hold it in place was not easy. So I'm using just the tiny tip of the soldering iron to try to push, you know, when it gets stuck in a spot, I'll try to use the soldering iron to push the wire into place. And you can see it kind of dried up flux there. And then I try to tack this on. Now the top is in place right now. And then I get this tacked in. I need some fresh solder. And that actually didn't look too bad right here. Like, sweet, looks pretty good. And then I touched it some more. Like, why can't you just leave it alone? It's good enough. But to me, it didn't look like it was attached here. So let's see if we can get the top attached a little better. Again, everything's so small that it's hard to get a grip or a push on it. And I'm really trying to hold that iron still, but it's so in there. So it's connected, and it's not connected, and it's gone. Like, it's not frustrating at all, I'll tell you. And I try to put it there, touch it, it's gone. Try to move it, and it's gone. It's stuck to my iron. So let's try again. More flux. Now we've already got a little bit of solder on there, so that is the good news. I don't remember why that one was there, but I brought another one in with me. I don't remember if there was one stuck to my tweezers or to my soldering iron, which one I actually wanted, but there's two now. Why not, right? Two is better than one. That looks like a dude trying to run away. I've seen some videos of cell phone repair people where they have immaculate precision with these, but they've got like stereoscopic microscopes and things, and I'm sure their tweezers are much better than these. I'm still trying to find some new tweezers that'll do what I want. So it's attached up there. Let's see if we can get this blobby mess onto the leg now. My gosh, it looks like everything's shaking like crazy. Kind of is. All right. It looks like we're attached. So I'm going to try to... Yeah, I kind of bunked it and bent the pin. So we'll move it back into place a little bit. And then they make it look so easy. They just grab it and wiggle, 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 and it falls off, right? Until mine gets stuck underneath the pin. And then I can't get it to come back out because it's so small and I can't see it. It wasn't frustrating at all. It was really fun and easy. Yeah, I just can't get the stupid pin. It's like I should have just left it there, but I didn't want it shorting out a different pad or something. be my luck. All right. Ah, it's gone now. Yes. And let's test the top. Make sure it's still stuck there. Doesn't even look like I'm touching it. There, right there it did. And then the bottom. It's solid. It's solid. Let's clean it up. Squirt, squirt, squirt. Rub, rub, rub. Okay, it's all clean. Drying up. It's attached. All right, let's put some solder mask on it. It's actually my first time using solder mask. I bought it just recently, and it's a perfect place for it. It'll keep that very, very, very delicate pin on that chip from getting hit or anything like that. Then you just shoot at some UV light. And I'm just testing to make sure it's hard here. And let's stick it back on. All right, I use this gamepad tester website. It's a website obviously used to test gamepads. So let's go ahead and plug this in. Bam. Sony PlayStation. And look, our sticks work. Buttons all work. Nice. Everything is working. So, awesome sauce. We got it. It's working. That's it. Thanks for watching, guys.